Hello and welcome to Speak of the Devils. I'm Arushi Daima.
And I'm Juliana McGrain. We'll be your hosts for this evening.
We're happy to bring to you the first new episode of the school year and our first episode of our high school careers. Tonight we'll kick things off with a riveting 60-second film, which was our first production in the 2022-2023 school year. Then we'll have Teen Voice with B News producer Sydney Bowles. Following this, we'll have some thoughtful group discussions with some friends of BHS TV.
We'll turn a spotlight to the drama department's recent rendition of Comedy of Errors by William Shakespeare, as well as the happenings down at Area 123 and the Esports team.
Some other things coming up tonight are an interview with Miss Elshelman on the school newspaper, The Devil's Advocate, and we'll look back to some community events like the Saheli 5K walk.
Tonight we'll also hear from the winner of this year's Poetry Out Loud contest, Alham Abdirizak, and B News sports reporter Anthony Matos for a look at the spring sports season.
The fun doesn't stop there, because we'll also have a chat-based Mad-Lib performance, and finally, we'll have a totally real, not rigged round of Fake-Factathlon.
That's all coming up on Speak of the Devils.
So are you guys good to see the movie on Saturday?
Oh my god, absolutely. There's no way it'll be better than the book, though.
I mean, it never is. So.
Hey, Tony. Speaking of books and learning and stuff, do you have my history notes? You said you were supposed to get them to me yesterday. I have it next period.
I can go check my locker.
Okay. Jeez, I didn't need the notes that bad. Oh my god, okay?
Sorry, I swear someone's calling me.
Come on, we can't keep doing this, man. Ugh, you're
It's
so
so
paranoid.
paranoid.
Let's just get to the movie. Wow, that really quacked me up. That was our submission to the Just a Minute Film Festival. First up, we have a clip from this month's edition of Teen Voice, where teens from BHS discuss important global topics. This month, we had a discussion about AI and its impacts, as well as representation in media and what it means to us to be represented. So I have kind of had like a come to Jesus moment, but Hindu version, and I have been like kind of exploring or kind of coming to terms with my own identity as an Indian girl who lives in America and has like always like been in American culture, and up till this point I've kind of just been like skirting through life, kind of trying to avoid like being Indian as much as possible, and I think I kind of know why, and it's because the only Indian representation that I have is either the most like stereotypical like geeky Indian kid that loves like learning and is constantly picked on. I'm only talking about Baljeet from Phineas and Ferb here.
And Ravi.
Fully not gonna and Ravi from the Jessie. Either that or like the full opposite, where it's like an Indian person who hates being Indian and they want to reject all traces of that, and they're gonna fall in love with the white man. And I'm only talking about mini Kaling right now. That's fully it. And I've kind of been in between these two things, and now I've kind of realized that I've kind of been more on this side where it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to be not Indian as possible. I'm gonna pretend that I'm not smart. I'm gonna pretend that I don't like learning this language, or I don't like being in touch with my culture. But now I've kind of realized it's super fun. And now that I've seen like more people in media where they're like me, and that being Indian is just like a thing that happens, you know. I was watching I'm just talking a lot, but I was watching like the new like She-Ra reboot, and one of the characters, she's like they see coded. She's not really, she's not really explicitly said to be they see, but she has, darker skin. She wears like sari style dresses, and she's just kind of Indian while also having like aspirations and dreams and loves and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, I can just like wearing my cultural heritage, but also just be a normal person. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's my preach.
I mean, like, I've never really, as a white woman in America, I've never really struggled with seeing, like, people who look like me represented, but I always have kind of, like, struggled with people, like, who are queer and who identify as being queer in the way that I do, because I'm not really a huge fan of labels, but I know I like more than one gender. And I feel like whenever I see, like, that type of person being represented, it's always like very like Tumblr-y stereotypes, if you know what I mean. Like, it just doesn't feel very accurate to who I am. And I'm not saying that every character that has like the same identity that as I do has to be just like me, but like it just feels a little
something to be desired, maybe.
Yeah, something like not every bisexual person is like wears Doc Martens and has a shade and has like half their head shaved and like some of the people are just like dudes, you just kind of hang out.
Does this come up for you, Nora? In your personal experience or just what you've observed? Doesn't have to be anything in particular.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, yes, I kind of agree with Urushi and like, I kind of just wish we could live in a world where like representation of multiple different types of people is them just like living their life. Like I feel like a lot of times when groups who aren't represented as much when they finally are, it's kind of like what makes them not representative, if that makes sense. Like that's kind of what their whole identity is surrounded by, and like that's what the whole plot is about, where in a way like I kind of wish you could just exist, and like to me that's kind of like not true representation, but just representation that I really want to see, and simply just existing and living just normal lives the same as like white people, straight people, cisgendered people get to live, stuff like that.
The rest of this 30-minute program on BCAT's education channel. Moving on, in the studio today we have with us some very familiar faces. Chase Jackman from BHS TV and BHS Class of 2026, and BHS TV alumnus and BHS Class of 2019 member Varys Connolly. Burlington High School has added security cameras and alarms inside of the school to protect everyone in the building in order to make us feel safer. With these new security measures, combined with the recent rise in violence at schools, do we students feel safe at BHS?
All right. Okay. So Varys,
Yes.
you're like older than us.
Yes.
In case you haven't noticed.
In case you can't tell. But what has your experience been with school security and like lockdowns? Have you ever like been through like school fire, shooting, whatever? God, hopefully not, but like anything.
I think we wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like anything bad.
As far back as I can remember, I don't think we have. Burlington has done a pretty decent job of keeping us safe these past couple of years. We've been very lucky that there hasn't really been any issues in the past. They always trained us. They're always like, oh, if this ever happens, do this. If this ever happened, do this. I think we had like a scare once, but then it turned out to be false and it was fine. But security was never really something I was super worried about here, which I understand is unfortunately a lot of places don't feel that way right now. So no, thankfully I've not had to go through any of that sort of stuff. Have any of you guys had to go through any of that?
No, actually. I mean, we did have a scare today about a fire, but that was really nothing.
And also, I think one time we were like younger, but we weren't in VHS. But one time there was like a robbery happening somewhere in Burlington, and then we were in like lockdown.
I remember
But I think that's like
But
the
that was
worst
only
it's gotten.
Or wait, last year there was like a police chase on Main Street.
On Main Street, and then we had to go like shut down.
Yeah,
the
but that was
school.
after school. The only reason we were there because we were doing our weird nerd club.
Yeah.
I
and now we're
think
doing this.
Even weirder nerd club.
I think that like the only lockdown that I've actually had is when a chicken entered the elementary school. That's the only lockdown I've had, but I do really like that we're adding more cameras and security measures to this school just in general, because I feel like it's just keeping the kids safe is priority right now, especially in today's world. So adding more cameras and stuff is really a step forward.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I feel like Massachusetts has a better safeguard in place than a lot of other states do about like gun safety and things like that. So I feel like, as compared to probably a lot of other like kids around the nation, I feel like really safe in Burlington, at least right now. And I think all the other like security stuff that we have is just to prevent kids from like doing drugs in the bathrooms, which I think is reasonable. I think is reasonable. I mean, it doesn't work, but I think it's good that they do have it.
At least they're trying.
They're trying their hardest.
They're trying, but the stuff that goes down in, like I've seen videos. Stuff that goes down in the men's bathroom is
Crazy.
So, I will speak to this. When I was in high school, this was a problematic phenomenon where kids would just go into the bathroom and they would vape, just constantly. It was kind of, it ran into a situation where it kind of like, you know, we're like, oh, you have to sign out when you go to the bathroom, or
that's why that started.
I think so. It was just this whole thing where it's like, well, they kind of need to know where you are, how long you've been gone, and like they need to know where you are. And I think like half of it's a safety thing, and the other half is that kids are leaving for too long and they're just like staying in the bathroom and vaping or just not being in class. And so it became, that was kind of the biggest like issue we really had. And also just other shenanigans that happened in the bathroom as well, like people like wetting up like paper towels and like throwing them against walls and ceilings and stuff. And so like I guess it'd be nice if that stopped, because I remember one day explicitly where I walked into a bathroom and there was just a bunch of people just standing like in like a crowd, and they were just vaping, and I remember they all turned around and looked at me, and I went, nope, and left immediately, because I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. And I've seen kids get like dragged out of the bathroom by faculty because they were in there for too long or whatever. And I'm like, wow. Like so it is a bit of an issue. So it is good that I guess there are steps being taken to prevent that.
It's great how history is cyclical like that.
Right.
Okay, as we get older, many of us teens start to seek employment. So we have our own disposable income and can afford to have our own social life without leeching off of our parents. But without any prior work experience, finding jobs can be a real struggle for most teens. So where are today's teens applying in town? In a town with many diverse employment opportunities. Additionally, how are some of these teens balancing the responsibility of a full-time job on top of our studies and extracurricular activities? Okay, so I have a job. So it's only a summer job, but still there. I think I really do enjoy having a disposable income for myself, at least, because I feel really bad whenever I ask my parents for money. So I'm always like, so I have like $1,000-ish saved up, and yeah.
Hand it over. I am. Okay, so I have like a volunteering job, which doesn't really count, but I did apply for a real life job. It's also the same exact job.
Together.
And also, the thing about it is that I don't really have any connections in Burlington because the only connections that I have live outside of Burlington. So it's been a struggle. But since Juliana has this job, she's my contact.
Yeah,
I'm her Nepo baby.
She's my Nepo child. But I know for me, I'm looking for a place to work in the school year because having like $1,000 from summer can only take you so far. And I'm looking, like I've applied to many jobs near and around my house. None of them have gotten back to me. And I think being under 16 and not being able to drive might be a part of that, which really can affect my struggle. Chase, you have been not contacted from
My
25
job
jobs.
prowess? I've been looking for many jobs. I kind of just contacted a bunch like a few weeks ago, trying to just ask a bunch of jobs. Some have reached back to me, which is nice, but I'm just trying to find just any job for the summer since I haven't had a job over the summers because I've always just been leeching off my parents, and I feel really bad for that. So hopefully this summer I'll actually be able to have a job and I can save that money up and save up for like a car or something, which is something I need, of course. But yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, Veros, what did you do when you were in high school?
So I got a job at my local laser tag arena.
That's
The one in
genius.
like Somerville?
No, the
Or
one in
like
Woburn.
Laser craze?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have such a sordid history with laser craze. What happened?
So, okay. So I started working there in like 2018, and I worked there for about a year and a half, and then when I left for college, I had to quit. But my stance on with like jobs in school is, because this bleeds into college too, is that it is very tough to balance the job while also having to do schoolwork. And with laser craze, like thankfully I only really had to work on the weekends, but like to go to school for like several hours a day and then have to go home and do homework, and then your entire weekend is just like working. It's a lot. Like it's a lot to handle, and it's a lot to balance. And like I think it's great that like, it's like, oh, you want to have a job, you want to have disposable income, and that's fantastic, but it's just it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And it's my job specifically was also tough because they kind of expected you to know how to do like a little bit of everything regardless of what your position was. So even like you could be like in the kitchen making like pizzas and stuff. You could be a party planner, or you could be a laser tag attendant. Those were kind of the three big jobs. Mm-hmm. Regardless of where you were in the store, you kind of needed to know how to do everything in the event that like somebody like couldn't do it, or like in the event that like they needed you to do it.
I bet you have to deal with like parents all the time.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess because people were like, well, what's going on? What's going on? And we're like, listen, we would love to give you an answer as to what's going on, but to be completely honest with you, I'm not getting paid enough to explain it. And I have way too many responsibilities to be able to like figure out what's going on either. So it's kind of I guess it kind of depends on the job that you get, but for me, it was hectic because like I'd go in, I'd sit through like a bunch of different classes, have a bunch of different homework, and then over the weekend, I'd be expected to work like 3 different jobs.
That's a bunch of like grimy,
with a bunch of
kids.
with a bunch of children and a bunch of parents, and it was very loud, and it was just like there's so much to remember and to know, and like managers are asking why you're not doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wonder, probably because I'm exhausted and I can't see straight, like that's probably why. And like you're not allowed to sit down either at the job, like at all. So you had to be on your feet for like 6 to 7 hours, and it was awful.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, great thing about Burlington, and a lot of the reason why I want like a job in the school year so badly, but the reason why I can't have one is because you can't walk anywhere in this town, and I don't have a car. I'm 15 years old. I can't drive. So where am I gonna go? Is that a good place to wrap this part of the discussion up? Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
We'll be back with more discussion, but For now, let's check out the Saheli 5K walk against domestic violence on the Burlington Common that took place last fall. I spoke to some of the event organizers on the importance of the event and what it takes to make it happen. There was a great turnout on the town commons on Saturday, October 22nd, as members of the community came together to support South Asian and Arab women and families to lead safe lives as they walk from the common to Burlington High School and around. Saheli's co-executive director, Renu Devari, talks about the work they put in to coordinate a 5K walk.
First, we have to get the place here from the town hall, and then sending emails and asking people to register. It's a lot of work behind, and asking police officers to be along to go walk with us. So it's a lot of work there.
Saheli President Nilan Wali explains the importance of learning about domestic violence and how it affects those who suffer from it.
Domestic abuse is one of the major causes of family issues, in this country. Every second there are women who are being abused, and the message that Saheli is trying to give is that we need to help these families to survive. It's not only the women; it's the children. Men also get abused, so we need to make sure that we educate people, whether it's education or whether it is legal help. Housing help. Saheli does all that things for everybody.
And here's how you can become a member of Saheli.
You can just reach out to us and tell us which place you want to be working in. There are many other places one can volunteer, like getting awareness, talking about like Saheli to others, or writing articles and making awareness what we stand for. We do intervention, but prevention is the more important one. So we want youngsters to come up and do something prevention program with us.
This is Arushi Daima reporting for B News Weekly.
Okay, so Arushi, how was the walk?
I thought it was fantastic. It was super fun. Everybody there was super inviting and kind, and I really want to do it next year.
I'm really glad you feel like that. It's really nice to have more support for issues like this. But anyhow, there have been many award shows in the past few months, like the Oscars for movies, the Grammys for music, and the Emmys for television. But these shows walk a thin line of being critically acclaimed and generally popular to win the awards, which then asks the question, are these shows even relevant anymore? Do they still matter? Is the media being nominated for these awards even of interest to viewers like us? So, how do we feel about this?
I have opinions.
Okay.
I don't believe in movies being good or bad. I think they're all good. Did you guys see the Mario movie?
That was a good opinion. That's a good opinion to have. No. Here's the thing. If you're like, oh, like all movies have something that anybody can enjoy, then yeah, I can understand that.
But I wouldn't say all movies are good. Oh. I wouldn't say all movies were good because I feel like a lot of movies can perpetuate like harmful stereotypes, like Gone with the Wind. Song of the South. That movie perpetuated terrible, horrible stereotypes of African Americans that led to a rise in violence, and very much not a good thing. So I don't know. I think all movies can be appreciated for something, but I don't think every movie can be good.
Can I amend my statement?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I believe that if you... Never mind. Can you guys talk?
Yeah. I think personally, certain awards, like award shows, are good for certain things. Like, I have biases, of course, but like, I completely forgot the Emmys and Grammys existed. Until they, like, I saw stuff on like Twitter and stuff. I completely forgot they existed.
Can we talk about the Scammies for a sec? Like, the Grammys, okay, so every year around Grammy season, this one interview with former Elon Musk wife and cool person Grimes came up where she was on the board of the EDM producers, or EDM award board. That rhymed. And she talks about her experience, how you could only pick from a select number of people, and she was the only woman and the only person under 50 on the board. Everyone else was an older man and stuff who didn't have any experience in the genre, didn't know anything. And when she tried to put in people who were like diverse or like lesser known, like Sophie or I believe Kim Petras, who are both trans artists. She got denied and told her that she had to pick from the list, which I really think goes to show about the industry's lack of understanding about contemporary musical artists and what is popular and what is like good.
Also, Nicki Minaj has been blacklisted from the industry because she stood up to some producer or something, and now she's been like. Yeah, and she's been like blacklisted from the Grammys. And have you seen how popular she is? I'm a Barb for life, and they will not give her just desserts. Anyways.
I didn't even know that happened. Wow.
Me neither.
Yeah, there was this like whole thing going. This whole scandal going on where she was like supposed to get a Grammy, but then she didn't suck up to this one guy. I don't think it was Dr. Luke.
No, I'm pretty sure
Was it?
Yeah,
I don't
because he's like a very popular pop music producer.
I don't think it was him, but whatever, it's fine. It was some guy, and she wasn't like being nice to him, and so she's never gotten a Grammy since.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Ouch.
Jeez, that's yeah. That's here's the whole thing about like award shows and even critics in general to me is that I feel as though there's kind of been this, how do I even want to phrase this? There's this weird thing where I feel like that critics just kind of like look for things that I'll use an example to kind of help explain this. We were talking about this earlier. The Mario movie just came out. The audiences that went to go see it loved it, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, it's a really good movie." Like it, there was some things, but like for the most part, it was a really good movie. But the critics were slamming it just left and right for. I think most of it was like the writing. Like they're like, "Oh, it's like shallow writing. It's shallow characters," and I was like, "It's Super Mario." Yeah, they're kind of base level personality characters, but like even in the movie, they gave them more depth. Like. But my whole point with this is that it's like I feel like, people determine whether a movie is good or not based off of like what the critics are saying, and like these specific people that we've given these titles that we're just like, oh, we're gonna trust their opinion because they have this title. But they're like us, like they have their opinions, we have our opinions, and they're like, oh, this movie got a really bad like Rotten Tomatoes score, so I'm not gonna watch it. It's like. Yeah, but that's just because like a bunch of random people who have this title said it was bad. But if like 90 people said like this movie's amazing, but like 10 like verified people said it's bad, then most people will go with like the people who are like verified. And that's what bothers me is that it's like it was a good movie. It's not perfect, but it's a good movie. So it's like go watch it. But the critics are like this movie is bad and it's not, and like with like award shows and stuff like that, it's like they're like, this movie gets, like Disney always wins. It's like, okay, yeah, you're Disney, whatever, who cares, whatever.
It's because they rig the votes.
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly.
No, they do,
like,
because...
it's all money. Money talks.
A lot of executives get paid by Disney to,
I was explained how the process works, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a matter of like, critics get sent movies, and sometimes with those movies, it's not just the movie in the envelope that gets sent to them. Maybe it's money, maybe it's something else, or like it's a matter of like you pay them to get like their movie to them faster, or like you pay them to like watch their movie for longer or something. It's like a matter of like they're paying them. Maybe not directly to be like, hey, like, here's a little money to sweeten the deal. More of just like, here's more money to spend more time with our film and think about it longer or something like that. And it bothers me because it's like, why can't it just be like, no, this movie was good, so it won. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that happened this year, but like a lot of like A24 movies won. I love A24. I love them. And they give a lot of voice to a lot of those like indie filmmakers, and it's fantastic. But it's like a lot of them won, and I'm hoping that they just won from merits alone. But it wasn't just like, oh, Disney came home with it this year. It's like, no, it was like these independent filmmakers who went through A24 who got a bunch of these awards, and I love that. But
yeah,
it's like,
and that's why 2024 Oscars, Greta Gerwig Barbie sweep.
Yeah,
anyways,
real.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you. You did great.
thank you.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at the BHS department's spin on William Shakespeare's play, A Comedy of Errors, directed by BHS senior Amia Kayasta. This performance was also done for the Mass Educational Theater Guild One-Act Play Festival.
Hello, I'm Juliana McGrain outside of the Fogelberg Auditorium, where inside BHS students are rehearsing their one-act play, Comedy of Errors. Let's go inside and check it out.
It's been a while since we've done a comedy here, and this is an absurdist piece. It is about as absurd as Shakespeare gets. This is the third time we'll be going to the festival. Festival happens once a year, and it's for every school in the state that participates. And we get mixed up among a bunch of host schools, and we all perform our plays throughout the day. So there's a whole day of one-act plays at the festival. This year we're at Wayland.
Directing the play is senior Amaya Kayesta.
I acted in last year's play, but I think it's actually been very fun, and seeing a new perspective into directing has actually been pretty cool. Mr. Hill and Mr. Pastizzi have helped me so much along the way. They've helped me have a huge role in this, so it's been really cool. I just think we have a really solid play here right now. We've put in so much effort, so much comedy, so many puns into it. So I'm just really excited to see how it turns out.
And scene. For B News Weekly, I'm Juliana McGrain.
If you hadn't heard about ChatGPT, the AI chatbot, it's recently made headlines because many colleges and universities are afraid of it, yet students love it. Here at BHS TV, we don't really know what to make of it, which is why we had the AI make us a ridiculous Mad-Lib for us to act out. Here's Lukesh Mishra performing A Day at the Beach.
One lovely summer day, I decided to head towards the beach. As soon as I arrived, I noticed a blue seagull flying overhead. The sand was repulsive and hot under my feet as I walked towards the water. The waves were sparkling and crashed against the shore. I decided to take a dip into the water, which was refreshingly viscous. Suddenly, I spotted an inquisitive fish swimming nearby. It was salty and had a shade of blue. It had zany fins. After my swim, I laid down on my towel and walked into the sun. The heat made me feel satirical, and I decided to take a break and grab a bozo to eat. I enjoyed a delicious Demir sandwich and some benevolent fruit for dessert. As the day drew close, I watched a beautiful, honorable sunset over the water. It was a perfect end to a vile day at the beach.
Speaking of computers, did you know that BHS has an esports team? B News caught up with a team as they prepared to go to the state championship for Rocket League last December. After that, our very own Nora Ahmed will sit down with Alham Abdirizak, this year's Poetry Out Loud winner, and then a spotlight on BHS journalism with Nico Floridas.
You just look like an esports kid, Sam.
Esports are formally recognized internationally, collegiately, and at the high school level. Your Burlington Red Devils are going to the state championship. Team captain, AJ Welsh.
We all are a part of the esports team, and so we all play Rocket League. Right now, we are fortunate enough to be in the top 4 for the state championship of Massachusetts. This season kind of stands out to the other ones because we're just playing a lot better and we're more together.
Basically, when we compete, we do go against other high schools. Esports in general isn't just Rocket League. There's other games, such as Brawlhalla, Call of Duty, all that other stuff. When we do play, it's 3v3s against other high schools. We are doing really good this year. We're the 2nd seed and hopefully we win states.
Like this year, it's like everything kind of came together. Like we played good as a team, and like we were just able to like win most of our games, and then we won the first round of our playoffs, so that's how we made it here.
We also learned about some of the finer points of competition.
We win by scoring more than the other team. Usually at the end of the game, when you have more points than the other team, you win. So that's how we win, and then they did that a bunch of times, and now we're at like the top pretty much.
What he said, when we score goals, we also don't let them score. So that's how we win. That's our game plan.
And esports isn't just for nerds, it's for the cool kids too.
They asked me to join. At first, I was like very hesitant. I was like, oh, the esports club. But like, I'm actually very happy I joined now because like, look where we are now. Like, yeah, we're doing really good this year.
Esports is a real sport. That's my senior project right there.
All of us here at BCAT wish the best of luck to this Red Devils team in the state championship.
We are indeed going to win states.
From Area 123 in the Burlington High School, I'm B News reporter Tad Stefanak.
See that fake? No, that was fake.
Israfel by Edgar Allan Poe. In heaven a spirit doth dwell, whose heartstrings are a lute. None sing so wildly well as the angel Israfel. And the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns, attend to the spell of his voice, all mute. Tottering above in her highest noon, the enamored moon blushes with love, while to listen the red levin with the rapid Pleiades, even which were 7, pauses in heaven. And they say, the starry choir, and all the other listening things, that Israfeli's fire is owing to that lyre by which he sits and sings, that trembling, living wire of those unusual strings. But the skies that angels trod, where deep thoughts are a duty, where love's a grown-up God, where the hoodie's glances are imbued with all the beauty which we worship in a star. Therefore, thou art not wrong, Israfeli, who despises an unimpassioned song. To thee the laurels belong. Best bard, because the wisest merrily live and long. The ecstasies above with thy burning measures suit, thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love. With the fervor of thy lute, well, may the stars be mute. Yes, heaven is thine. But this is a world of sweets and sours. Our flowers are merely flowers. In the shadow of thy perfect bliss is the sunshine of ours. If I could dwell where Israfel hath dwelt, and he were I, he might not sing so wildly well. A mortal melody, well, a bolder note than this might swell. My lyre within the sky. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Noor Ahmed, and I'm here with this year's Poetry Out Loud winner, Alham Abdirizak. Well, how are you today, first of all?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So let's get into it. Why did you choose the poems that you performed?
I chose the poems for a variety of reasons, but I chose the first poem that I did and performed, which was Israfel. No, I think it was actually my second poem. But anyways, I chose it because I absolutely love Edgar Allan Poe, and I found it funny that that was his least gothiest type of poem, and it was about angels. Who doesn't like angels? And my second poem was Often Rebuked, Yet Always Back Returning by Emily Bronte, and I really liked her book, Wuthering Heights, and it sounded cute. And the title was also the first line, which I found funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So what was it like to win the BHS finals?
Well, it was surprising. I have yet to win. I've never made it past the semifinals for like 3 years in a row. So it was shocking and fun. And it was a good way to I guess, end my Poetry Out Loud experience and graduate as a senior from Poetry Out Loud.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how was your experience at the state championships?
The state championships, I unfortunately didn't make it past the round, but I met I met a good amount of good, like, poets and performers. They were amazing. We all instantly clicked. By the end of anyone that you meet after slipping and sliding on the highway just to get to a competition is instantly going to become your friend, because all of us barely made it there, okay? It was dangerous, but it was on a snow day, and it was fun. We were cheering for each other. Even though I didn't win, I was very happy for the people who won.
Yeah, that's like always a great experience, meeting the people. Sometimes it's like better than the competition itself, you know, so.
We were vibing.
Yeah. So as a senior, how has your experience in Poetry Out Loud been during your time here at BHS?
Yeah, I kind of answered that before, but my first year, I was definitely very nervous. But that was also the year I actually got into the poetry club and performing in spoken word poetry. And I was in the spoken word poetry type of team as an alternate that year. So it was my introduction to stages, I like to say. It was very scary. I was sweating, I was stuttering. It was terrifying the first year. The second year, it was during COVID, so I kind of just didn't try. I was so over that year. And then last year, I made it, I think, 4th place in my period. I got a little certificate thingy, which made me really want to win senior year, just to not get 4th place again. So this year, when I won, I was surprised and happy. And I actually picked poems that I knew I would like. And at that point, I'd been on stages more than just one time. And I was comfortable with faking being confident on stage, which was fun.
Yeah, it's always like an important thing, fake it till you make it. So, well, thank you so much for coming. This was Alham Abdirizak, the 2023 Poetry Out Loud winner. Back to you guys in the studio.
BHS TV has teamed up with Devil's Advocate since 2019 to expand the journalism department's community outreach. I spoke to journalism teacher Sarah Escherman on her work with the class and club.
About getting the news out to the community. It's been evolving over the years. The newspaper is always the first priority, certainly. Between 3 to 4 times a year, we publish a newspaper and distribute it to the school. I would say within the past few years, we've redesigned our website so we can have an online presence as well. We have Instagram and a Twitter as well. So it's trying to just find different ways to get the news out there. The Devil Sunrise, which is the broadcast, I don't know version, but it's the collaboration between the Newspaper Club and the BCAT TV Club, has been pretty new actually. I would say maybe the past couple of years. It's definitely an interesting setup. So generally speaking, the class, because of the time they have, they're able to do a lot more with article writing, do a lot more interviews. They just have the time to do that because I give them the time. The class provides a lot of the information, and the club is the one that comes in and edits and puts it all together and does the big picture. I hope that they get a sense of empowerment. One of my favorite things to do with the club is you can write about whatever you want. There's obviously some journalistic expectations when it comes to ethics and it comes to style, but I want students to feel empowered, like, yeah, I wrote this. It's a story that I was interested in and I pursued it and it was all mine. I also want students to see the involvement in the community. There's so much that student journalism can do for the school, and to be a really integral part of the community is kind of what some of my hopes that I hope they get out of it. I also hope they just have fun too. We try to make it a fun time.
For BHS TV, I'm Nico Floridas.
Now, to wrap things up on a lighter note, I'm sure many of you are well aware of Fake-Factathlon, the VHS quiz show produced here at BCAT. Let's check out a totally real and legitimate exhibition round of Fake-Factathlon where 2 BHS TV teams face off for the ultimate prize, bragging rights. Hey guys, I'm Marushi Daima, and welcome back to Fake-Factathlon. You might notice that I'm not, shut up Luke, you might notice that I'm not your usual host. Chris had to be out today, and I'm totally stepping in for him. So now let's check out our teams. First, we have the silly salamanders, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Can you introduce yourselves?
Okay. Who wants? You want to start? You can start.
Sure. Hi, Line. Never mind. You go.
Oh, okay. My name's Chase. And I'm glad to be here.
I'm Robert. They asked me to do this. I actually don't know why I'm in here right now, but hooray.
Cheer for Robert.
Hip, hip, hooray!
All right. Can we get some introductions? Can we get some more introductions?
No. What are you talking about?
No. Hey guy in the black shirt. What's your name?
Your name's Luke.
My name's Luke.
Okay. Now moving on to our other team. What are you again?
The US of A.
Can we? Oh yeah. Let's give it up for the US of A.
Yeah.
Yeah, America. Okay. Can we all introduce ourselves?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Juliana, and that's my name.
I'm Joanne. It's your turn. I don't know if you know, but it's your turn next.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I'm Kelly.
Alrighty. Hell yeah. Now let's get into our first round of Fake-Factathlon. Stop it! For our first question, what is it called when birds fly to warmer climates for the winter? Dang it.
Hibernation.
No, migration.
Are you serious? That should be our point.
Okay.
Migration.
So can well that's wrong.
What?
Migration.
Wait, no,
It's
you answered. You
missed
answered.
I meant migration.
Sure,
Yeah,
they
did
got
I
the
not?
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got the
What?
Did I say hibernation?
Favoritism.
I guess. So that puts them at
And
0.
during Women's
Yeah,
History
they
That puts
Month.
them at 0
better team.
points. Okay.
Is it because you're a white man?
Maybe-
Oh wow. Okay. Can we calm down? Okay. Question 2. Which parts of our body keep growing throughout our lives? Is it A? Oh wait. Sorry. Oh sorry. Oh
Wait,
wait.
it's
sorry.
wait. No.
You also can't click the button before the
Wait.
question.
Okay.
Wait.
Stop it. Everybody, stop clicking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I ask the? Okay. Fine. Answer it then.
Which one is
Answer the
it?
question.
A, B, C, or D?
I know it.
I'm gonna guess C.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Okay. What?
I think
Is it skin?
What?
No.
B, as in Bapple.
So everybody's wrong. Can we get -3 points for the silly salamanders?
Yeah. Yeah, only the
USA.
I don't need to take this. You know what? No.
Okay.
No.
Third.
there he goes.
Third question.
We got this right.
Wait, I have to reset
We
this.
lost a guy.
I don't
fine.
care.
He doesn't matter.
Third question. How many legs does a spider have? Can you say it out loud?
8.
Okay. Can you give them 1 point?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Okay. On to our fourth question of the night. What do you call a person who studies rocks? Okay, answer.
Geometrist.
No.
Geologist.
How's their answer?
I mean, I guess that could be an answer, but it's not the question I have. That's not the answer I have written down.
They study rocks.
Isn't it a mineral?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna give it to
study
those.
Hell
yeah.
It's not meteorologists.
I don't know what it is.
Anyways,
They study
I'll
geos,
give them the
not
point. I'll
Yeah,
give them the
geodes
point.
are a type of rocks.
Anyways,
Okay.
who five?
You study
Question.
animals and-
Shut up.
Press the
Question
button.
5. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not. Okay, whatever.
You're a
Okay.
really bad host. Just saying.
Shut up. What do you call? I mean, sorry. Question 5. Who is the first person to step on the moon? What?
Neil Armstrong.
I guess that's correct.
It's not.
It's not technically correct.
So I
but
guess
that's
you
what the
could.
answer's
I
gonna
guess
be.
you could give them a point.
We went to the moon
Technically,
in
it's Buzz Aldrin,
1969, 1968.
Stop it!
You're
Stop it!
after.
Stop
I'm
it!
sorry, it's just a
Okay.
habit.
No, you're
Fine.
Joanne.
Fine. Okay.
I'll do it then.
Next question.
This is
When
kind of
did
unfair.
Chase take his first steps?
At the ripe age of 5 years old.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You're that late?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's something you really want to be announced
I guess
here.
we're
That
all.
makes
I guess
sense.
we're all masters of our own experience. Chase, you get the point.
Yeah,
We're
not
on
the
a
team,
so
just
we
Chase.
get the point.
It's
Can
fine.
we get a separate team for Chase? Okay.
This is
Question. Whatever. How many teeth?
You have to reset.
Can we get it?
Okay.
This
How
is
many
outrageous.
teeth
For what?
do most adult humans have? How many?
2 big ones in the
26.
front.
26.
Incorrect. Moving on to US of A.
32.
Correct.
Yeah.
1 point for US of A. Guys, let's get excited. Let's get some. Let's cheer. Okay.
There's no audience.
Okay.
Laugh
do you
track.
mean?
Play the laugh
Next
track.
question.
Is there going to be a laugh track?
I think there should be.
I think it's just me laughing. Anyways, how
We
many
do our own laugh
teeth
track.
does Kelly have?
I have it. I have the answer.
Wait, oh god, I forgot to reset it. Take your hands off. Take your hands off. Take your hand off, Chase.
Yeah, Chase.
How? Dang it.
Oh.
How many teeth?
32 of last night, 31 of today.
Can we get an answer from Kelly?
Kelly, do you have your back left molar? Or is it in my pocket?
Can I leave? Can
Kelly,
I go?
Kelly, answer the
Okay, what
question.
happened there? 32? He's wrong. He's alive.
Okay, I guess we're all masters of our own experience.
But you
Kelly,
just said
you get
that.
the point.
Why does Kelly?
Okay.
How is our points going down?
Anyways. Losers.
How are we 4 behind?
Anyways, next question.
Can we get
What
a new
is
host?
precipitation that falls in the form of ice crystals?
Hail! It's hail!
What? Hail is
Incorrect.
Yes, no, it's literally.
Moving on. What?
Sleet.
Sleet doesn't. Sleet isn't
Incorrect.
precipitation.
Correct
right?
answer
Yeah, it is.
No, it
was
isn't.
snow.
No, it's literally hail.
Anyways,
You're wrong.
Can we stop heckling
Hail
me?
is an
Can we shut up?
crystallized
Can we
form.
shut up?
All of
Hail
us
is condensed
apologize.
crystallized.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not
It's
sorry.
Women's History Month.
Can you be a little
Anyways.
nicer, please?
What are the 3
I have
states of
emotions.
matter?
You didn't read.
Oh God. Okay. Wait. Actually, I'm gonna ask a different question. I'm gonna ask a different. Stop it! I said I was gonna ask a different question. Anyways, what is the hardest substance in our body?
Bone.
No. Sorry. Anyways, what?
Question: is this like an element,
Nope.
or like it's just like a part of our body?
It's a substance.
All right.
Oh, stomach acid.
Nope.
Stomach
The correct answer was tooth enamel. Anyways.
I knew that too. Damn it.
Bone.
That's a part of your bone.
Wrong.
What's with all the teeth?
What are the 3 states of matter?
Points.
What happened? Why are we -4?
We're getting points taken.
Solid liquid gas.
Correct. Let's give them a round of applause.
I think we should do a walkout. This is outrageous.
Okay.
It's women's history.
Now, next question. Why do you matter? Yes.
I feel like my sense of self is very strong, and the things that I can accomplish are limitless with the opportunities I've been granted in life.
All right, we're all masters of our own.
Stop
Yeah.
using the same
Watch us get
line.
less points. Watch us get less
You
points.
get the point.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
Okay.
Answer the question.
What's the question?
Answer it.
3.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Wrong. Incorrect. Do you want me to re-ask the question?
Yeah, the answer is E.
Incorrect.
Okay, both teams are incorrect.
I thought you said.
Where did our point go?
Anyways, question 13. What is the most abundant natural gas? Oh, stop it. Okay, fine. I'll press the button. Okay. What is the most abundant natural gas in our atmosphere? What is it?
Why is he pressing the button? He's got his hands like this.
You can press it too.
Alright, then I will
No,
take
it's
it.
not.
Yes.
It's not. It's
Okay.
not.
No,
put it
carbon
in the
dioxide.
field.
No.
What
What
about-
are you guys? What are you guys doing? Anyways, Team
Nitrogen?
US of A is wrong. Do you have any answers?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay.
They
What?
weren't paying
Which is the most abundant natural gas in our atmosphere?
There's a lot of it in the air.
It's hydrogen.
Is
Okay,
it
no,
carbon
you-
dioxide?
No.
It's hydrogen,
Can I have
right?
it
Not
back?
carbon
We went
nitrogen.
I said nitrogen.
We learned this.
She said nitrogen.
You didn't say it long
Well,
enough.
she- no, she
You
said
didn't say it
nitrogen.
with enough passion and
No,
gusto.
she said nitrogen. I
We're
think
all
we have
masters
the
of our own
brains of this
experience, so
operation, even
nobody
though
gets the point.
He has the left
Is that
and I
your
have the
one
right.
singular line in your
Shut up.
script?
Shut up.
What? The right's the numb.
If you okay, next question. If you have arachnophobia, what are you scared of?
Spiders.
That is correct. 1 point to
No,
the
watch the
silly
points before we
Celine
celebrate. Watch the
Dion
points.
fans.
Hold on.
If it goes to
Anyway.
-5, I'm going to lose my mind.
It's
That's
all
also
coming
not
back
our
to me
name.
now.
That's also not our name.
Wait, what?
Our points didn't move.
Anyways.
Monster High? Yes!
Yeah, Monster High.
Okay. Where's the?
Anyways. Okay, are we all good?
Yeah.
Are we
No,
all right
where's
with the
our
name? The
points?
name switch.
It's
The name
fine.
switch. Okay.
We'll make such a good comeback, it doesn't even
Next
matter.
question. Sorry. What is your deepest fear?
Spiders.
You. Masters of our own experience.
Ducks.
Men.
You.
Ducks
I'm
watching
afraid of
me.
you over
We're all
shaking up in the
masters
morning.
of our own experience.
Oh my
So
God.
Team US of A gets a point.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Next question. Why are you here?
My mom forces me to.
Okay, we're all masters of our own experience.
Okay.
So Chase gets the point.
Host,
No,
can I spend our points on banning a
Shut up.
word phrase?
shut up.
You don't have any points, you
Shut
silly
up.
goose.
Shut up. We're asking the next question. We're asking the next question. Do you want to leave?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Are we allowed to?
We're all masters of our own experience.
Stop,
so
we're literally-
Team USA gets a point.
Stop it! I'm going.
It's the
I'm going
same
to break my
answer.
monitor. I swear.
Okay. Next question. How many bones are in the human body?
206.
206.
200 you.
No.
Correct.
Don't you-
Monster High fans get the point.
That's
Keep
not our
learning.
name.
Yeah.
Yes, Lou, come on, come on. Look at our
Next
points.
question. How many bones will you have?
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
Just in the future.
15.
Incorrect.
Damn.
How many bones will you have if you try to leave?
Ooh.
0.
We're all masters of our own experience.
Moral of the story, folks. We're all masters.
We got a point for that.
Monster High fans, you get -3 points.
Why?
And
Hell
we
yeah!
20 points to Team US of A.
Yeah.
It's History Month, folks.
What is going on here?
We're losing.
What is going on in here?
Um,
Why do you have my jacket?
Why
Why do you have my jacket? Robert. Robert, what are you doing in here?
I don't know.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
I don't like Monsters High.
Well, until next time, have a factastic day.
And that wraps up this edition of Speak of the Devils. Thank you to all of our guests and crew. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned to BCAT TV for more content from BHS TV this year.